Hi. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Teo.
And I'm Bruce.
And welcome to our new channel, Victorian Paper Theater. We know that the holidays are busy, stressful, hectic, and we wanted to offer you something different. A little bit of peace and joy.
Yes, and the greatest wish for us, for you this holiday season, not just the holidays, but moving forward, is that you can find that peace, that brightness, that joy. And we hope that these stories give you that in your day, in your night, but more importantly, in your dreams. So be sure to share it with your family, friends, and even the kids. Subscribe, and we will see you again and again here with our Victorian Christmas tales.
And now, enjoy your first bedtime story. Santa and the Mysterious Carousel, a Victorian Christmas tale. On a still and silent Christmas Eve, when the snow lay thick and unbroken across the North Pole's endless expanse, Santa Claus spotted something strange from his sleigh. Below, in the middle of the snow-covered clearing, a carousel gleamed faintly in the moonlight. Its mirrors glinted like silver and its golden poles shimmered. A soft and haunting melody drifted through the air. Santa tugged gently at the reins, and the reindeer slowed, circling the clearing. There the carousel stood alone, spinning slowly, its lights flickering rhythmically against the snow. But there were no footprints, no sign of origin.
Well now, this is peculiar. A carousel in the middle of nowhere?
Santa guided the sleigh down and stepped into the snow, his boots crunching softly as he approached. The carousel continued to turn with a ghostly elegance, each horse moving up and down in a timeless rhythm. The music, though gentle, seemed to hum with something otherworldly. But as Santa circled the ride, he noticed something was unusual. One of the carousel horses was facing backwards, its head turned toward the inside, the center of the platform.
Now, that's not right. A carousel horse should always look ahead.
Santa climbed onto the platform, his gloved hand gripping the golden rail. The backward-facing horse seemed to glimmer faintly, its painted eyes catching the flickering lights. He reached for its reins, determined to set it right.
Let's see if we can fix this, shall we?
He pulled gently, then firmly, but the horse refused to budge. It felt as though it were rooted in place, resisting his efforts. As he worked, the carousel began to spin faster, the music growing louder, its haunting tune now laced with urgency. Suddenly, Santa stumbled back, his boots slipping on the icy platform.
Well, aren't you a stubborn one?
Deciding on a different approach, Santa searched for a way to stop the carousel. He examined the base of the ride, looking for a lever or a switch, but there was nothing. Then he noticed the center pole gleaming with frost, its surface smooth and seamless. Determined, Santa grabbed the pole, hoping to halt the carousel's spin. But as soon as his hands touched the cold metal, the ride sped up, the lights flashing wildly, the backward-facing horse seeming to glow brighter, its painted mane shimmering as though alive. Santa released the pole, stepping back in a huff.
This isn't just a carousel. It's some kind of magic. But what does it want?
Santa stared at the backward-facing horse, his sharp eyes narrowing. This horse wasn't just out of place. It was deliberate, as though it had a purpose. Kneeling beside the horse, he placed his hand gently on its neck.
Why are you facing the wrong way, old friend? What are you trying to show me?
For a moment, nothing happened. But then, the carousel slowed, its lights dimming slightly. The horse's painted eyes glimmered faintly, and Santa noticed something he hadn't before. A small, nearly invisible box embedded in the center of the carousel platform, directly in the horse's line of sight. He reached for it, his fingers brushing away the frost. The box was locked, but a faint inscription on its surface read, Unlock the past to move forward.
Unlock the past? Well, I suppose we'll need a key.
So Santa started searching the platform, his hands brushing against the intricate carvings and golden trim. Finally, he found a small key hidden beneath the saddle of another of the horses. He returned to the box, turning the key gently in the lock. The carousel shuddered slightly as the box opened, revealing a collection of objects inside. A tiny truck, a nutcracker, and a small porcelain horse that seemed perfect for a miniature carousel. Santa's breath caught as he recognized what these were.
These were gifts! Gifts I lost years ago during a snowstorm on Christmas Eve.
Santa lifted the miniature carousel horse. Its paint had chipped with time, but it still was vibrant. He held it up to a flickering light. Memories came flooding back. How he had searched for hours after that winter storm, scouring the skies and searching all through the snow, only to return empty-handed. He had carried the weight of those lost Christmas gifts for years, wondering if the children who had awaited them had ever felt the magic of Christmas. The carousel slowed further, the music softening into a gentle, almost wistful tune. The backward-facing horse turned slowly, aligning itself with the other horses. Santa laughed, his voice warm and full.
So that's what this was all about. You were guarding them, weren't you? Keeping them safe until the time was right.
The carousel stopped completely, its lights casting a soft golden glow over the snow. Santa carefully gathered the gifts, placing them in his sack. He looked back at the carousel with a twinkle in his eye.
Oh, you're a mischievous bit of magic, aren't you? But a kind one, too. Thank you.
As Santa stepped off the platform, the carousel began to fade. Its lights dimmed, its music quieted, and its ornate frame shimmered before vanishing into the night. The snow in the clearing lay now undisturbed, as if the carousel had never been there. Santa climbed into his sleigh, his heart lighter than it had been in years. The forgotten gifts were now safely in his sack. They seemed to glow with their own quiet magic.
Even lost things have a way of finding their purpose again.
With a snap of the reins, the sleigh soared into the sky, the stars above twinkling brightly. Below the clearing lay still and peaceful. Its brief moment of magic was now just a memory. Santa's laughter echoed across the night, carrying with it the joy of rediscovering and the promise that no gift, no matter how lost, is ever truly forgotten.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a